Hello programmers, my name is Ben Weibel. I'm currently a senior here at UW-Madison. I'm studying computer science, and today I'm going to make a short video covering a few of the data structures that you will be using in CS 301 or Intro to Python. Now, a lot of students entering CS 301 here at UW are not necessarily CS majors and have never seen data structures before, and that's totally fine. To define data structures, or what a data structure is, I would need to make an entirely different video. I highly encourage you, if you are curious, to go look up a video on that subject in itself. For the scope of this video, a data structure for us is simply a structure that holds data. Now, the data structures that I will be covering are both lists and dictionaries, which are the main two data structures that you'll be using to store, manipulate, and access and read from data in files that you'll be given as part of your specs for CS 301. So to start, I'm going to show you guys how to initialize them, insert into each type, delete from them, and index through them. This is some syntax. All this means is this is where the program starts. Your professor will give you this. And then up here, I've also defined some print functions that will make it easier for you to see what exactly is in a dictionary or list that I create for myself. So to insert into, let's start with lists. It's as simple as my list equals list. You can do it that way. You can also say my list equals square brackets. All this means is we've created a list with nothing in it. These are exactly the same, absolutely no difference. I'm going to delete an arbitrary one just for simplicity. For dictionaries, very similar. My dict equals, you can just say dictionary, or my dict equals an empty dictionary. Exactly synonymous. You can use these, whichever one's easier for you. If you like the shorter one, great, use it. Inserting. A little more, actually, before I do anything, I'll print both to prove to you that they're empty. So I can use my, Control-C, print list, my list. If I run this, I get an empty list. There's nothing in it. All I did was print this bar above anything that would be inside of my list. Same thing with my dictionary. Print dict, and all we'll get is another line with nothing underneath it. I'm going to move these two guys down below everything that I'm doing. Inserting. So to insert into a list, there's a couple ways to do it. You can insert at a specific index, or what I found you guys most frequently needing to do is append to the end of the list. And that's as easy as my list dot append an item. Let's say hello. So now when I run this, we'll get a list with one item that's hello. With dictionaries, it's similar, except for a dictionary needs a key and a value. So you would have to say my dict dot append, sorry, not append, my mistake, at, and you give it a key. Let's say hello is the key, and then you assign to that key a definition. Let's just say world. So when I run this, we'll get hello, and then this key with world as its definition. Now, a couple subtleties here. In a list, you can insert hello as many times as you like. Okay? And you can have many repeats in that list. Whereas a dictionary, if I assign something to the same key over and over and over again, we are only going to have that key defined once, and then the last definition we give it, so if we give this world exclamation mark as the last one, we're going to get world exclamation mark. Dictionaries, by definition, cannot have duplicates. They are sets, so they will never be able to have two items with the same key. There are other ways to insert into dictionaries. I've often seen some students will find this syntax online, .update, because it looks a little cleaner. You can insert hello world. Comment this one out. And when we print, we see it worked. I would not recommend using the .update syntax, even though it looks nicer, because what happens is every time we want to add something to the dictionary, we're actually instantiating another dictionary. So what this whole part does is it creates a new dictionary and then sticks that whole dictionary into my dict. So I could put multiple definitions in here and it would still work. Would not recommend. This will take a lot more time. Yeah, it'll take a lot more runtime, and there's a lot more going on under the hood than necessary. I would stick to this syntax. So let's insert, moving on to deleting. For lists, this is simple. You can say my list dot pop, and that'll give you the last item in the dictionary, and it'll also remove, here, before I do this, here. So this is what was printed last time. Pop is just going to remove the last item from the list, so we're going to get nothing. Here, I can insert a couple more things so you can see. So before I pop, we're getting hello, hello 1, hello 2. I pop, we get hello, hello 1. I pop again. Sorry. And we get just hello. Simple. For dictionaries, it's slightly more complicated. And from what I've seen in some of the students in tutoring sessions, you'll never need to delete from a dictionary. It's a little more complicated. They don't give you a very simple way to do it, so you have to do something like this, which is a little less pretty. My dict at, and you give it the key, delete, what is the key? Hello? And that will delete the item from the key. As you see here, there's nothing in the dictionary. Don't think you'll ever have to do this. Don't worry about what's going on under the hood. All this does is delete the item at this key. We're going to ignore that for now. So let's say that I had a bunch of items, and I apologize, I'm going to be lazy and just leave world as the definition of all of these, but we'll have multiple items. Print my list quick, also comment out my delete here. So we have these lists, and let's say we don't want to print them using the functions that I defined. We want to index through them, and you'll have to do this a lot. So the easiest way to do this is using a for loop. Simple syntax is that, and you say for, and then you name the item in your, let's start with lists. So I'm going to say for item in my list. And all this is now is it iterates through the entire list, and the first time it goes through the loop, hello is going to be the item. The second time, hello 1 is going to be the item, and the last time, hello 2 is going to be the item. I'm just going to say pass for now so I can show you that this is printing nothing. Boom. So for every item in my list, I want to use the generic print function and print that item. Okay? Or let's say I'll print, throw some of these in there. So it printed each item in the list one at a time. I can also print a new line between them. There you go. Hello, new line, next iteration, item is the next item in the list. Wonderful. For dictionaries, it's just as simple. I'm just going to print an empty line here so we can see the difference. We could do for item in dictionary, but I always name it key, because what key is not the entire key definition. It's just the key in each spot. So here, for key in dictionary, it's going to be hello 1, hello 2, da da da. So for every key, I can print the key, and you'll see it like this. Here's our list. Here's our dictionary. Here are all the keys that we used. But we also want to find what the definition for each of these keys was. So we can print, and let's just print some spaces. Plus, and then the way that we access that key is we say my dict at, and this is the indexing call for dictionaries, my key, or my dict at key. and that will print hello. The definition is world. Here, I'll make this world blah, 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 for one of them. Here you go. Hello 3 corresponds with that. Another way to do this is you can iterate through the range. So you can say for I in range. And what this range call is expecting is it's expecting an integer here. And the way that we access the length of both lists and dictionaries is you just say length of, and you say my list. Okay? So now I is just a number. And here, let's just print I. I'll show you. Comment out all this. Print I. So this is just going to print 0, 1, 2. Because we have 3 items in our list, each of these corresponds with the index of one of those items. So instead of I want to print my list. And like I did for dictionaries here, I did my dict@key. You can do the same thing with lists, except for it's not looking for the key, it's looking for the index. So I can say my list at I. And there you go. At each of the indices, these are the values that correspond with each index in that list. Same thing at or with the dictionary, my dict, except for when you print my dict at I, it's just going to give you an error. So you can't print my dict at I because there is no key for the value 0, right? We would have to say my dict at and then one of the definitions, like hello. This is not going to do what we want. It's just going to print the first. All it's printing is this one. So for I in range, feel free to use that for lists. Works really well. But for dictionaries, I would recommend this style for key and dictionary. Like I said, square brackets, construct a dictionary, or sorry, construct a list, and you index with square brackets as well. Dictionaries, use curly brackets to instantiate like we did here, but you also use square brackets to index through like I've shown you here. Thanks so much. Enjoy your 301 course. I wish you the best with all of your Python needs, and have a good day.